Hello, Internet. This is Handsome Dan, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a video in my Seven Wonders series, so we're going to call this an interlude video. What I've been doing during that time is I've decided that the next build in the Seven Wonders is going to be the Parthenon, and I've just been trying to collect enough quartz to stand in for marble, and I've decided, I did the math, just the outer columns, I need at least 18 stacks of quartz, well, pillars, I guess. Uh, and that's just, tough to find. Every day or two, I do it for a couple hours and then do other things in my life. But today we're going to do something different. I've mentioned in some earlier videos that we've never done, that I might do a tour of the world that the Seven Wonders world is replacing. This world started in 1.7, I believe, because that was when world generation seriously changed. The 1.6 world we had broke. If you generated new chunks, they wouldn't mesh at all with the old chunks. And so we started this world. The reason we picked this seed that we did, and I'm on creative right now, it's an old world, so that doesn't bother me. Oh yeah, I forgot, I set up a tripwire there. Which I thought was funny. A line of note blocks stretches out under here. Anyway, the reason we chose this seed, and if you look through the aqueduct or whatever, this whole big thing is what we now call Shattered Savannah. At the time was Savannah Plateau M. And I decided to claim that as my base. A little boat somebody built, wasn't me. This castle that we walked out of was not built by me. It was built by the guy who hosts the server, just as sort of a welcome castle. And I believe he actually built it on creative, figuring it was that it didn't matter for just a welcome. Other stuff that's nearby. This little church is actually one of the last things we ended up building, or I ended up building on this server. Both of these roads continue for some distance. This was my proof of concept for a kelp farm. I guess come in on the other side. I don't remember doing this. That's probably the person. That was somebody's house, but he hasn't played in ages. Anyway, kelp farm, observers, all the way up. The kelp floats up and is supposed to, looks like that little piece isn't doing it, is supposed to get pushed up and over and then down into those hoppers. And it does work. Slightly different design than exists in the Let's Play world, but not significantly. But, that's how little we've been on the server. Despite all these chests, there's less than a box of kelp. That is train I set up to go out to a future build. I say we started this on 1.7 and we started a new world on 1.16. That doesn't mean we played straight through for 5 years. One person would, we did when the world started, and then for years afterwards, one person will go through in a couple months phase of playing. That is not me. Kind of a neat castle. That he built out over the water. And I believe there's actual water features to it. I doubt maybe he did put the chickens and sheep into boats. Oh, that's actually funny. But that's what he did. Kind of neat. I'm on creative because we're not. This isn't a world I intend to build in anymore, so I'm okay with being on it in creative. This big block, I copied a design from the internet called the Iron Head, and the reason is from this side, that center part makes it look like kind of a villager head with all the doors. That looks like his nose, and those look like eyes. I started replacing the cobble that I originally built it out with iron blocks because it is an iron farm, which is why you can hear villagers. All the doors are because it relies on the way villages used to work. Villages used to not be based on the number of beds; they used to be based on the number of doors. But lots of iron. And how this works, I think I might be able to show you on Spectator. There, I'm standing in some glass, actually. This is all... do night vision. There we go, 5 minutes of night vision. A bug was that the iron golems would actually spawn within redstone blocks. All this redstone was acquired legitimately, probably 2/3 of it by me and the last third by other players. I don't use it very much, so redstone blocks, and it's solid. This big. We'll get to that. That's cool, but we'll get to that. And the water is because the iron, when the golems died, would shoot straight up. So it would shoot up here. The water would at least slow it down, and then sweep it into the chests. And there is an overviewer connected to the world. I think it's broken, but it does exist. And so this is set up so that from that direction you would see it say Iron Head. Let's go back to creative. Was originally a zombie farm. That there was a big thing up there, and zombies would come down. And you're supposed to beat them up for experience. We did make an Enderman farm, so didn't need this, and it wasn't that efficient anyway. So I turned the tower part of the zombie farm into a water tower. And I could show you the Enderman farm. It's been commented as being an old school Enderman farm. Clock is not me, and it looks like it's been creepered a little bit, but it came out pretty cool. My banner is red brick, and then originally it was a yellow circle there. I called it the sun and red brick. But then I built... Well, let's go. Then I built that. The Eye of Sauron. And so once I built that, I started doing an orange lozenge on the banners and called it the Eye and red brick. And it was Halloween once, and I made that. Started calling it the Eye and the red brick. Here's some of my original band. Oh, yeah. That was when I first discovered the title command. There's a tripwire there, and it issues the title command to whoever trips the tripwire. But again, here's some old banners because it's still yellow on the red brick. My original wheat farm. This castle, I called it the New Castle, sometimes HD Castle. there was I guess a creeper walked through the thing. There was a hill there, and I decided to just hollow it out, and this is what happened. Well, this is the first time I did something with terracotta. Might have been new when I did that, actually. It's okay. I don't think it came out as good as it could have. Each of the people in the server had a flag that somebody decided to put in here. Like, for example, Norway. The entire nation of Norway played on this server. That's not true. There's me again, an original banner. I like that one. Not something I would have thought of, but I think it came out really good. No comment. I want to know where he came up with enough wither heads to make that. Same with that one. That's kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and we'll see. I did some dwarven style building, and this is the banner I gave to the dwarves. It's supposed to be a hammer. Another sun in red brick before it became the eye in red brick. But yeah, I hollowed this all out. The couple of per stairs that go up to, apparently, a creeper hit the side of the wall. Per stairs go up to the top. This is kind of cool. Again, fairly recent build. I call it the Warrens. A whole bunch of these little apartments, just all stacked up against the backside of the hill. And like when I say stacked up, I do mean that they're stacked up. You know, there's the cottage number 3, cottage number 4, cottage number 5. But you get all the way over to the back side of it. College is 42 and 43. I feel like if I go even further down, 29, 26. I feel like the top ones are probably in the 50s. 40, 41. It's a couple that didn't get numbered, and so I eventually had to call them like 43A or something. I think they're over here. No, maybe not. But anyway, you can take stairs to all the different cottages, and ends up being and I called it the Warrens. Usually this isn't meant to be this isn't the first part of the tour, just where we happen to be. This was meant to be a one-day build. My Viking mead hall. This is meant to be where all the food got barbecued. The king's or the lord's throne. There's a reason that's like that I'll get to later. For something that I don't believe I had any guide to building this, I think it came out really well. These logs used to go all the way across, or at least the back two did, but the lava caught them on fire, and it works fine with them just half logs like that. But I think that came out pretty good. There was a pond here that I covered with slime blots because I could. But when I first joined this world, where is it? Should be a door here someplace. I think, oh, that's it. Yeah. I dug a little hole out of the side of the, this mountain. This was, again, where I first took refuge against the night. This was my first little, some people build a little house out of dirt or out of, cheap wood blocks, just so creepers don't blow them up in the middle of the night or zombies. And from here, I built stairs down to mines. They weren't red brick at first. That came later. But these were my original stairs to the mines. They don't work now. They're broken. and I'll show you why as we go. And actually, I'll show you where the bottom of the stairs are. But from here, actually, I don't think I started from here. I think I started from over here. This was an experiment. I don't think it looks all that great, but I never took it out. These stairs, I decided to cut into the side of this mountain to get up to my new base. That goes down to where we just were, and to the, well, we used to go to the mines. Again, this wasn't originally red brick, but as I, that is just happy accident that it happens to go over to the exact level of the roof of that. This used to not continue here. It used to stop here, and you had to go up to the base. I'll cover these stairs in a second. That water is like original. It originally came all down here, and I decided to turn it into, oh yes. Got an email saying I should take a class that I've already taken. Well, this isn't anything special. You've seen that before. The bamboo's fairly new, obviously, because it's a pretty recent expansion. And my carrots and potatoes. Weird thing that the dragon head stops after a while. Even though there's a torch there, after a while it stops yapping. This is still my main base. This is in a savanna, so that's why it's out of acacia wood. I think the glass is actually fairly, that's not original to the, the big glass things with the sun and the moon aren't actually original to when I first built it. I don't think this balcony is either. I think I put that in shortly after I built the balcony. The aqueduct is me. I think by the time I built this, I was one of the few people on the server. And so somebody else would come on the server and say, holy crap, where did that aqueduct come from? And so I got to say, I happen to know where it came from. These were originally all of my boxes. And so, and these boxes have changed what they've held many times. My randoms have always been here. Actually, I'm surprised some of this stuff isn't elsewhere. Like today, I have a box or a series of boxes for each wood type. But I guess this works. Ender pearls, I didn't realize I had this many, but they obviously all came from the Enderman farm that'll be on the tour. Oh yeah, concrete was kind of new added since I didn't have a good place to put it. But anyway, I ended up having to expand to here. So this has a lot of dirt and sandstone, but then I had to expand it again to here. But then I had to expand it again to here. And this room is all cobblestone. And if you want to read those signs, 217,000 cobblestone just in this room. And I had to, and then I started another one. This room is, I don't think, terribly full. So yeah, I didn't number the boxes, but it's kind of weird. Usually I would put these back to back. Anyway, I didn't number the boxes, but if I said earlier that this room was 63 boxes, yeah, then with the stuff in the other room, this would probably be fairly close to box number 100, Definitely over 80, maybe over 90, probably about 100. And this is the first time I ever made rooms specifically for for specific blocks. I've got a bunch of andesite, but not a complete. This isn't all full of andesite. I think that's the last blocks of andesite I had. So it starts, but the 7th box. And diorite and granite. Having built these rooms way back, this is why, or this provided the template, I guess, for why my rooms today are all made out of the blocks that they hold. And that's my totally super secret cobblestone annex. If I fix that torch, does it start the... Oh, that's right, I'm on creative. I don't know why it's not working. Doesn't matter much. We did get the dragon egg. Well, actually, I think it was mostly me. Probably was. And the date was 2014. At some point, somebody slapped the dragon egg, and it's, who knows where it went. So I went into creative and got another one and put it here. My smelter, this roof would catch fire sometimes because there used to be a little bit of lava in here, but not anymore. I wonder what's in there. Kelp, okay, because that kelp was new. Some food and a bunch of stone. My original enchanter room didn't end up getting, oh, that's funny. Didn't end up getting used much because I ended up using the one in the, next to the Enman farm. The beacon comes through here, and I'll show you. I've got a machine set up to keep changing the color of the beacon, which might be broken. Interesting. Have to go take a look. I don't remember why this is here, but you can actually get to the aqueduct from here. I think I used this when I was building it. Since I'm not going to do this, be on this world again, I don't mind showing you the room that had all my valuables in it. Had to do an extra box of coal because I just had too much coal, even though it's all in blocks. Slime balls, end stuff, gold, all books, nether stuff. This was a proof of concept that I obviously kept. Feel like nether brick isn't something that should be in the valuable stuff. I'll do that in a minute. So, when I was building this, I said, hey, let me do this first. These climb all the way to there's 2 different apartment buildings. Let's go up a little bit. Well, let's do this first. All of these various things are teleports to each map. Like, for example, we go to, and this is the fellow that's hosting the server now. But take you right to his base. You can't do ports like that without creative mode, but most of the people that have played on this server are pretty judicious about using creative mode. Like they do it without going nuts. Yeah, okay, that's to mine. I don't remember that's what my base looks like from above. So let's go up here a little bit. These are all big apartment building, or that's a kind of weird looking door in this texture pack. I think it's acacia. It's either acacia or jungle, but I guess I haven't seen that in this texture pack yet. With all of these little balconies, these are, not new, but I didn't build them right away when I settled up halfway up a big mountain. Oh, okay. Yes, this was a creative test. The lava I got on survival, but the reason there's this frame here is because these are all barrier blocks. If I do that, you can see all the barrier blocks, and that keeps the lava from crashing out into my base. I like barrier blocks. I use them for a few different things. Can't think of anything else I used them for in this world. But yeah, like I said, this was a test. Can I do something neat with barrier blocks? So if I go back down, this is the stairs below just happen to be visible. Okay, I don't get why this is brick. Anyway. These stairs were just, I'm only halfway up the mountain here, so I said, let's go ahead the rest of the way up. They probably weren't originally red brick. This was definitely not originally here. Once glazed terracotta became a thing, I decided to experiment with it. This was the first pattern I ever built with glazed terracotta. And it's kind of cool. Couldn't keep going because I ran out of room here. But horses, sheep, cows, all of these animals I had to specifically bring up here. Leads were not a thing yet, I don't think. So how they came up here is like with the cows, I held wheat in my hand, and they'll follow somebody with wheat. In the case of the mushrooms, or at least the first couple of mushrooms, the closest mushroom island is 1,000 blocks away, maybe. So I did that and led them through the Nether to get here. Egg farm. Water sweeps the chickens into the center where they sit, lay eggs, and the eggs drop down to this chest, so it's full of eggs. Am I only getting a couple more chickens? Or why are the eggs not depleting? And again, that's something I'm not used to when I'm on creative. Not many things that I used eggs for, and this world does not have a chicken farm like you would make for food, or at least I didn't make one. This was intended to be a temporary ladder up to the Eye of Sauron. And I'll go up there the old way, I think. Before we had observer blocks, that corner, the way that's set up is how, and actually I don't recall exactly how this is set up, but when this right reed grew tall enough, somehow a block updated somewhere, and that was enough to provide a pulse to that piston, which slid a torch in line to another row of pistons behind here, which would push the brick out and chop the reeds. I have no idea if the device still works. Sounds like a train. Maybe it's thunder? No, it's not thundering. Okay, Okay, well, I guess it kind of works. Not sure why I needed to have the top parts go out too, but it appears to still work. This is the top of the apartment building. I don't remember flattening this out, but probably I did. Base down there. This does continue up. Again, beacon. And again, I need to go down and figure out what's up with that. Before I built that temporary stair up to the Eye of Sauron, this is how you had to do it. And you can hear my spacebar squeaking again. And I do remember why this extended out, because while I was building that, lava would occasionally spill out, and this was to catch the lava. These are all lava source blocks. I've got a big lava pool down at Bedrock, and I would go get, 18 or 16 or 18 or 20 buckets of lava, bring them up here. And they're kept in place by the glass panes here. If I had it to do over again, I would slightly change how the eye looks so it's not so much of a cat eye. But as it is, it's fine. Might also use glass blocks instead of glass panes, because from an angle, the panes just seem a little weird. And this goes down the temporary stair I made earlier. But you can keep going. Up here is the reason I abandoned that wheat farm down below is this was a command block based wheat farm, but something broke. That is supposed to replant the wheat with a command block, and that's apparently broken. And then this lets water kill all the wheat. It was just a fill command I used to do the on my original reed farm. But, got plenty of wheat. When I did get access to mycelium, I set it up here with a couple of big mushrooms. With Silk Touch, you can get the big mushroom blocks. And frankly, once I built this, I'm not sure I was ever at the actual mushroom biome again. Still a fair bit of coarse dirt around. That's one thing I like about these savanna plateaus, is lots of coarse dirt, which you can use. A lot of these brick paths you see around, were originally coarse dirt. Grass paths, of course, were not a thing until a fairly recent expansion. And then this goes around to the top of, looks like a creeper got that, to the top of the other apartment building. I feel like I can go up even farther. Yeah, I can. Oops. But I don't think that's what I want to do. That is. I don't remember where I'm bound, where my bed is going to pop me up if I miss. But I didn't miss. Looks like I just caught the edge of that water, which is why I didn't bounce super high. All right, so from here, let's go back to creative. Easier than climbing the stairs. Once beets became a thing, I put them there. Same concept as the potatoes and carrots. This was the original stairway to get to the back of my mountain. I now call it the deprecated path. Backside of one of the apartment buildings. It seems to me I had a crop here at one point, but I moved it. This I made a little cheater thing to provide me with bone meal. That's a skeleton spawner, which I put there on creative. I hollowed this all out on survival, but the spawner I actually put there on creative. Spawners don't come out this high up. But you see, skeleton spawn, get swept down that hole in the middle, and you'll see where they come out. I did wire that up. Theoretically, it's supposed to turn off the spawner, but it doesn't actually. Again, I called this the deprecated path because I made a better way to get here. But, you know, this is kind of cool. Little benches so you can see out over. That is someone else's base, which what he built seemed awfully far from spawn. The trees I probably put there, I probably went nuts with saplings. This was my oak farm for a long time. And in fact, I think I had it to the point where you couldn't even tell that that building was there. We'll get to that and the other buildings behind there in a minute. What we're standing on is a natural feature. There was really this spur out to the back of this mountain. And then this tower wasn't this tall, but there really was a spire here. And so I decided to hollow it out. I'll give you a reason for this well in a minute. Again, this is old enough that it's still the sun and red brick. That goes all the way up to the top of this tower. My nether portal. Can't remember if there's anything worth seeing on the nether side. And then from here down, I consider this largely finished. All of these were not done on creative. They were either I made them or came from a stronghold. The sort of interesting, the difference between the stone brick and the andesite is this was the diameter of the original tower. When I made it taller, I also made it wider. Got an itch on my back. I can't quite reach. It's bothering me. Okay. This was my own personal village. Food in here so that they could take care, breed themselves. Also spawned golems. And at the time, like I said a little bit earlier, how villages worked was computed on doors. A door had to have an inside and an outside. And how it computed that is, could it ski sky? And you can see I even made signs. Right now we're standing, as far as the game engine was concerned, we're standing inside. And then here, because this is that well I mentioned, is outside because it can see the sky. And like I said, like I put here, there had to be one legitimate house. This, if I can get here without letting any villagers in. I suppose I could kill the villagers. Oh, let's just go spectator. This was an attempt to make a room that zombie villagers would spawn in. I don't see it. There was a light I could turn off, or turn on and off in the ceiling. Oh, I guess it's still there. Yeah, theoretically that would make skeletons not, or zombies not spawn in here. But I had to have the zombies spawn in here and cure them to get that village. Okay, I guess that didn't let the villagers in. It was a pain. It took a really long time to get those villagers. Keep going down. I believe this was the original first floor. Yes. Yeah, this was the original bottom floor of the tower. With the doors there, and then there were stairs down to ground level. But again, when I expanded it, I went down another floor. And then here was the secret room I made that to put in, once I set up a railroad to the real end portal, I set up a cheater end portal in my base. Which puts us on the backside of the mountain. Oh, one thing I'll show you before we go outside. Once sea lanterns became cheap, there is an ocean monument farm. Once sea lanterns became cheap, you know, thinking about it now, I wonder if I did it on creative. But it's relatively recent in terms of this world. I could have pillar jumped. I could have used scaffolding, because I think scaffolding did exist when I did this. So let's assume I did scaffolding. Oh yeah, that's a half finished build, and then there's a tunnel that goes through there to the main base. I think if I ever finished it, would have been a neat idea. And then stairs coming down around the outside. I guess I'm on creative, so we don't have to use all those stairs to get back down. Ooh, hey, free experience. Which doesn't mean anything when I'm on creative. Chariot race area. These lights were an experiment on my part. They look okay, but it would have been a lot of work to continue it around. Because of I had the chariot races there. Somebody put a stable here, which is just a stable. And horses like to stand on hay bales for some reason. There's actually a tunnel from the stable to the track. I think this was the first time I ever did anything with the red sandstone. I had a thought to put some scattered red sandstone or red sand in here, thinking it would be blood. This is one of my Seven Wonders inspired builds. Mausoleum of Mausolos, Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. All of these armor stands were eventually supposed to be full iron armor. I never finished that. You can see it's a later build because it's at the eye in red brick instead of the sun in red brick. Not much special inside. I did make the coffins. Mausolus is who the original mausoleum was built for, and his wife. There is an upstairs, but there's nothing up there. Just more pillars. I didn't remember there being stairs, and that just goes up to the almost top. This design, assuming I do, well, I will be doing the mausoleum at some point in the Seven Wonders world, and I'll probably more or less copy this design verbatim. Again, see Hansel and see the eye from the backside. This build was a simple build, just a Mesoamerican style pyramid. You know, nothing on top except zombies. Built it right across one of these roads. I actually forget when I'm showing people the village that just the roads themselves are kind of impressive. But the most impressive thing about this is that it's all dug out underneath. Not all the way down. Oh, this that spawner is natural, so I didn't kill it. And the idea was that it would spawn spiders. They'd fall down in here, and I'd end up with a source of string. As it is, looks like there's one string in there. I'm not all the way down to bedrock at 14, but the plan was to go down to bedrock, and I just sort of lost interest. I don't know if really lost interest. I mean, I never really said, hey, I'm going to stop working on that. Oh, that's the road going through. You know, when I put these lights in, I figured it was actually going to light something up, but obviously the light doesn't extend that far. The next to the mausoleum is... Oh, that's funny. There was a real village here. So some of these villagers are actually some of the original villagers from this village. And this building is the last thing left of the original village design. But just like I was mentioning earlier, villages used to be based on doors, not on beds. So there's no beds in any of these rooms, but there are tons of doors, which at the time spawned this many villagers. And so this became my trading post for a while. And the wheat enabled farmer villagers, of which, okay, there's one, to keep everybody fed and to keep the thing, to keep it going perpetually. You can guess what I started working on there. It just became too complicated. Scaffolding was not a thing yet. And so, like these curved parts you can see on the front here, pillar jumping, all of that just became a huge pain. I will show you this build, even though I didn't make it. This isn't me. I think the main thing it shows is something that I have a problem with, is I don't do well on interiors. But the person who made this, I think, is even worse than me at interiors, because this really needs something inside. Actually, I think it's cool with the sort of shelf in there. Don't know if he did that on purpose, but it is kind of cool. And I don't remember on the signs in that one building or the banners whose that flag was attached to. But yeah, I started work on the Eiffel Tower. Oh, somebody's base was here. Somebody who stopped playing and actually specifically said, I hereby abandon this area. And the house, I think, was right here, but the farms, there was no reason to fill them in yet because I'm not using this square for anything. Started work on a purpur ziggurat. Even with my purpur farm back there, which I'll show you more up close a little bit later. Purpur took a while to come by. Oh, spider rider. Don't see those very often. It looks like it's raining, but I'm in a desert right now. And now I'm not. What am I in? River. Speaking of river, this is somebody else's base. I don't recall who. Speaking of river, I made, at some point, like a race course, like boat races. Used to doing this with somebody. You know, hey, as long as I'm showing you my world, let's have a boat race. Would it be helpful if I turn night vision back on? There, it's on for 30,000 more seconds. What would it be? 5,000 minutes? 500 minutes? I don't know, a lot. Used to be when you hit one of these with a boat, the boat would explode. Or not explode, but would break. Desert Temple's long been looted. I think this part of the course I actually put in a couple little barriers. Yeah, there's one. And if you slow down too much here, you end up sinking. And then this part goes underground. Some of this river is natural. This part is, I mean, yes, I'm in a river biome, but it didn't actually go down to the water level, so I had to sort of fix that. And then this part was naturally water, which is why it's deeper. But I covered over this, I think, when I started work on the Eiffel Tower. And that's the boat race course. Kind of unnatural looking to have night vision. I guess not a big deal. Unfinished build over here, but as soon as I get there, you'll be able to tell what it is. You know, it's not counting whatever I decided to do with the upper deck bleachers, if anything. I just couldn't come up with a way to bring this around and have it make sense. Boy, there's a lot of mobs around here. Looks like a creeper took a little bit out there. This was intended to be the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Assuming I do that in the Seven Wonders build, and I should, I feel like this is the bare minimum that we'd have to have for the Hanging Gardens. And of course, I never put anything green. But still sort of a neat water feature. Once concrete became a thing, made a TARDIS. Creeper blew this corner up, but in case you were ever curious about what the TARDIS looked like inside, this is what it would look like if you were tiny. My city hall. I guess I'm doing this kind of out of order. City hall, and this I called my mayor's mansion. Sort of a Spanish design. Future expansion. Oh, very early I started work on what was inspired to be Deep Space Nine. Let's go up there. But you can see how that's kind of funky. I couldn't figure out pillar jumping a good way to kind of match the way this curves up into something that curves down. Oh yeah, that's behind the city hall. There was a natural bay here. I decided to bring it around, and all the wood came before this little bit of prismarine structure in the middle. At the time I built that, we did not have a ocean monument farm, and so that was like all my ocean bricks. Basement of City Hall I actually had set up as a temporary base. See? Oh yeah, I even had a sign here that said temporary teleport, and it's been there for years. And the main floor, or the main inside of the City Hall. Again, it would be nice if I had some stuff in here, but I'm not very good at interiors. My dark wood farm. This was intended to be a wood farm or a tree farm. Didn't end up actually working very well, but there is some wood lined up there. The idea is I think it's here. Somewhere in here. Bone meal would spawn trees. The tree would then pistons would shove it to the side. That would shove it up here. That would shove it in here. Oops. And that would shove it out. It turned out not to work anywhere near as well as advertised. In fact, the lines of obsidian are because the pistons kept pushing things where they didn't go. So I put obsidian there because pistons won't push obsidian. The eye again. There was something I had to do here. Oh yeah. I'm glad I put a sign there because I wouldn't have remembered how to do that. That's a dispenser that puts redstone out onto the saplings. This is sort of a nothing build, but I ended up proud of it for a couple of reasons. That's one of them. Plays a couple bars of the Cheers theme. But it does. It ended up looking like a bar inside with this intended to be beer taps. A couple of one-liners from Cheers. And while you all are reading that one-liner or whatever, I'm going to refill my coffee. To refill my beer, but I don't have a beer right now. This makes me a little bit sad. Just a closet. And just like Cheers above it had a restaurant here. I don't know where the kitchen would be, but there's the tables for it. This I think I decided was a bike shop, but you know nothing in here but a little counter, little rack, back door out to the water feature area. Oh yeah, there is a little shop on somewhere here. Yeah, that's it. That faces the water feature area. Leroy's Toys. Mushroom blocks used as a building block. I think it's the first time I ever did that. This was not me. Cool looking though. Made sure to have an alley. And this, oh yeah, there are, above this and above the bike shop, there are little apartments. That's just from living in the Midwest as I do. The old buildings like this always had upstairses, and a lot of times they've been turned into apartments or flats. But yeah, since this is right next to the ocean, decided that was a surf shop. Not that there's any surf. Oh, speaking of which, you can tell that these chunks were created before the aquatic update, which was what, 1.13, 1.12, and so that's all boring ocean, no kelp, no seaweed. This tower was not me. This was somebody who decided that my tower of light needed a tower of dark next to it. He's got a dark room under here so that there'd be mob sounds when you come in. This was, I think, the first huge build I made on the server. I think I finished it recently enough that it's the iron red brick rather than the sun and red brick. This is all, it took literal years to get this much quartz. But this is meant to be an office building of some sort. One of these beacons was mine. I think the rest somebody had loaned them to me, or whatever. Probably not a loan. Water elevators were not really a thing. So there's the elevator is ladders. I wish that any of these glowstone panels would actually light anything. They really don't. But once we get up above this, I started, because the lights this is only one thick, this floor. And so I said, well, you know what, I could put a water feature here with flowers. And I don't remember what update it was that made there be all different kinds of flowers. But I did it so each level had a different sort of flower. I don't remember the names of all these flowers. I guess I could go on F3 and look, but I don't remember. Regular old poppies. White tulips. Sunflowers. Pointing the wrong way for us to look at. What are those? Azure Blueies? Oh, I even had a dead plant level. Should probably take the water out of that if they're going to be dead, right? It looks like I stopped doing it at this point. Not sure why. And then the top level, because well, let's go out there. These corner pillars, which actually aren't really connected to the structure. You can look all the way down and you don't see them connected. At the top, I started angling them in, which meant that these 3 floors, these 3 floors ended up having chunks taken out of them. Still ends up looking kind of cool. Oh, looks like, I missed a level of these quartz stairs. Well, I know we're on, I'm never really coming to this world again. But we just can't have a section of this that's not right. We should just do a full block there. Where's the quartz? That's smooth quartz. Snow. There we are. Did I forget any of the other sides of that? It's weird that I never noticed that. Certainly didn't notice that. Maybe I've never been up this high before on his... Oh, you know what? I bet this is designed to be like an altar to some dark god. Clever. I showed you the lighthouse in one of the videos when I was building our new version of the lighthouse. And it's neat, this version. Our new version is a little, oh, that was cool, is a little wider and not as tall. That goes all the way, almost all the way up to world height, or max world height. That's everything in the city. One of the reasons I have hundreds of thousands of blocks in my boxes is, like, for example, this over here is obviously a Desert Hills biome. Yep, Desert Hills says so on the left. And I would do things like tear it all down to put in more road, and you know, if I did, eventually I would tear this all down to ground level and make it a new, new building spot. Oh, that's not quite all I wanted. All to see that's in this city is another person made this big cathedral in the middle. I did not make this. He did a good job. I feel like he overused sea lanterns, but at the time, this was after sea lanterns. The ocean monument became after that went online and made sea lanterns cheap. One thing I would prefer that he did differently, I would have had him kill this road and just build it at ground level. But he went another way with it, and that's fine. Assuming he built this all on survival, and I have no reason to think he didn't. It's pretty impressive. I don't exactly remember the recipe for this. Do you have to double cook brick or what? But I feel like that's an awful lot of this stuff. And I think there's a secret area someplace. Yep. I mean, if it's open to the outside, it can't be that secret. Yeah, again, I feel like he overused sea lanterns. But, hey, they were cheap. Yeah, that's about it for the city. Once red nether brick became a thing, I extended this road to the ocean, north to the ocean. Is this north? Are we going north? Yes, north to the ocean. And there actually is another teleport set up here. We may use it in a minute. This goes all the way across the ocean. Oh, and a weird thing, these stripes are actually bone blocks. Bone blocks also became a thing at the same time, or at least roughly the same time that red nether brick did. And if we cross the ocean, and again, boring ocean because there's no kelp or seaweed or anything. Oh, that triangle thing that was back there, I started putting in like supports for the bridge, and the triangle thing I decided I didn't like the look of, and so I sort of abandoned it. Well, less than halfway. I don't remember what this is, so I'm checking this out. Might be a stronghold under here. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Interesting that it was never filled in. Got plenty of ender eyes. Well, where's the rest of the stronghold? She can't really have been it. No, I don't know. I mean, it looks like a real stronghold room. Looks like at some point I fell. And that's what I built to get back up onto the bridge. Boy, ocean looks boring now without all the seaweed and stuff. We didn't know that before. We didn't have it, so we didn't miss it. I stopped it more or less at this hill. And Joe, whose base we briefly teleported to, he dug this through. And it's fine looking. But that connects to a regular, well, one brick wide road. Oh, I didn't show it in the city, but I had another big building made out of end brick mostly. That's my purpur farm. And it's just too big. This is all you really need for a purpur farm for most things. The size of mine, I only had to finish harvesting things halfway. And stuff was regrown all the way, so half of it I never had to do anything with. Joe's farms, Joe's cows, Joe's pigs, Joe's rainbow sheep. Neither one of us had one of the type of sheep farms that gives you that sorts the wool for you. The automatic ones. The neatest thing Joe has in his build. Huh. I don't remember him using terracotta for the upstairs. Anyway, neatest thing he has in his build, to me, is his ice palace. I believe it's actual ice under here. Oh, nope, snow blocks that I just killed. Sorry, Joe. But, top of an ice mountain, have an ice palace. I don't remember there being llamas here last time I was here. Guessing a creeper did that and somebody decided just to fix it with dirt. I don't know what that is. Laundry room? He's got stairs someplace. That's what I'm looking for. Here we are. Quartz stairs? Yeah, quartz stairs. So is this snow blocks also? Yeah. Huh. It's not what I would have used for building blocks. Didn't remember this being open. But anyway, neat idea, his ice palace. He had also his own personal village. And same deal, his villages are based on doors. So he put in something with a lot of doors. Don't remember there being this many iron golems last time I was here. His stables. That's actually sort of a clever idea. Oh, I like that. What color is that one? Just regular blue. Huh. I might have to steal that design. Oh, it looks like you could also go all the way around and it'd be a circle. I'm about to steal that design. Purple, I've used that. I don't think I've used that. That I've definitely used. Red we used in the lighthouse. Creeper face, that's sort of funny. I think that one's black. Haven't used that in a build recently, but I think I have used it. And his teleport room, let's go back home. At the time I did live in Michigan. Still from Michigan. Let's see, let's go down. These are all coal blocks. I don't really use coal for anything. My furnace fuel is lava. And so this is the other reason why I didn't care that much that I broke those mine stairs, is that I had this. And again, water elevators were not a thing when I built this. I hear the train a-coming. Here it is. My beacon. And the thing that's meant to be changing the colors of the, okay. I see. One of the colors broke. Is that not what it's called? There we go. Oh. I'm guessing something broke. And this is how they chose to fix it. They put a gold thing there when it shouldn't have been gold. No, that one should be. So that's correct. Why is this stuck on? Alright, so there was something wrong with that detector plate is all it was. Or detector rail. Oh, is that going to break it? I want to stop it then. There we go. Go the right way. Alright, I think I fixed it. I didn't realize detector rail could get stuck on. Anyway, my plan was to, at least the outer layer of this, turn it all into emeralds. You can see how far I got. I kind of like emerald blocks in this texture pack. My mines all this is how I do them with 2 wide, and then every 2 or 3 blocks go out 7. This way, there's no part that's not lit up. This was not my original mine, though. This was, I forget, either my east or my west mines. Looks like east. This should look familiar. I've got this in the present world, in the Seven Wonders world, and I've done something like this in a lot of my worlds. These were my original mines, and you can still see the ends of the whatever, the shafts, the quills. And I just decided to make them wider. The ceiling is slightly different from how I do it now, not terribly different. But the biggest difference is that this lava gutter goes around the pillars. Now I just have it go into it and theoretically through it. This started doing that. I don't remember why. This is the bottom of the stairs, so my original mines actually went that way. And I decided, and the reason these pillars are kind of messed up is I decided that the original archaeologists that broke through here to these tunnels, probably when they built that, messed up these pillars. The pillars are, the reason I have them, the length apart that I do now, that I think I have them, I think it's 6 blocks in between each pillar now when I build this, is so that things like this work. These pillars are as far apart as they are in this design, but that doesn't really make a good way to do an intersection like this. And then the final thing before we go a little bit wanderlust is the Grand Hall of Moria. Now, there's a lot of things here that are, I guess, unfinished. Usually I don't have night vision on. You can't tell that the ceiling is stone slabs. These were an idea I had. The proof of concept you saw in my valuable stuff room. That actually, if I turn night vision off, that actually is a really good light. These, I do have that set up in the city hall. I've got one of these. It is 6 glowstone lamps with a redstone block in the middle, powering them all. Chains weren't a thing. These are fences, iron fences. I do think the stairway came out pretty good. In the middle of the stairway is this thing. And you saw, and I pointed out in the mead hall, there was the weird bend out in the middle by the throne. The reason is that this is the column or whatever. This is where the skeletons fall down from the skeleton spawner. Again, there's a block of redstone behind there. Don't remember why I didn't have this go all the way up. It seems like it should have gone all the way up. But I didn't, I guess. And then in the back of this, I started working on... I was going to have stairs kind of switch back their way up to the top of this. So that required me to dig this all the way down. And unlike the other thing where it's not really that I lost interest, I started doing other stuff like this. Here I really did lose interest. Because it's a lot of boring work. So let's go back to spectator mode. So I can just get out like that. Not too much else to show you here. One thing, oh, not a big deal. First time somebody, oh, barbecue grill. First time somebody built a nether portal on the nether side at spawn. The nether portal ended up floating here. And somebody said, hey, Dan, do something about that. And so I said, okay, I know a neat thing to do is I'll put it at water level. Remember sponges? No, sponges. Now I don't remember if sponges were a thing at this time. But that's all obviously air in there. And then I made a tunnel to get out there. This is me. I made this tunnel, but I originally calculated wrong, and so it extends. I extended it all the way out there. I didn't mean to do that. So if you go out there, oh, that actually will eventually take you to somebody else's base. I forget whose. Crosses a ravine. So when I figured out that I messed up, I started angling this back to where it should be. But later on, I said, well, that's actually kind of dumb. I should just make it go, I should just make it go straight. This is when sea lanterns were brand new and I first did this. I thought it reminded me of the music video for Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. He's walking on light up squares like this. The cobblestone part is generally built underwater, and the regular stone part is hollowed out through underwater hills and such. Here's the other end of the abandoned part. I've offered that abandoned tunnel a few times to people as bases, but they've gone other ways with it. I think with that ravine, it would end up being a pretty neat base overall. I'm surprised I can't hear myself walking. Is it because I'm uncreative? Still can't hear myself walking. Maybe I have sounds turned way down. Still can't really hear myself walking. I'm going to go back. I'm going to turn that back down because otherwise the balance doesn't seem right while I'm talking over it. Most of the rest of this is water on the outside of this, so I built, put reeds in there. No good reason. This is the first ocean monument we found. Well, I don't know if it's the first one we found. It's the first one we hollowed out. And I guess I say we, it should really be I, because I did most of it. But once we hollowed it out, we didn't really do anything with it. I did take, I think it's actually on the other side. Oh, it looks like it did start to take some blocks out of here. Anyway, you've seen ocean monuments before. The reason I came this way, boy, that was all a huge pain with Guardians shooting at me. I do remember that. The grass that's as far as it's spread in literal years since I built this tunnel. Or I guess I should say since I put the reeds here. And same from the other side. That's somebody else's base, Lael or Leal or something. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. A few Europeans on this server. It's neat looking. I don't recall that there's anything particularly special about it, but it is neat looking. Wonder what he had in mind for these areas. Is that as far as it goes? Looks like there's something else lit up back here. Maybe this is how he, these little tunnels are how he decided what, how much to hollow all that out. I haven't explored his base in literal years. For a minute, I couldn't figure out why he would do that, and then I remembered that's not the actual walkway. This is down here. Anyway, showing you his base is not why we came over here. Again, I assume it's obvious for me talking about it, but this is a survival world. Several of us have the access to commands, but it is ultimately a survival world. I call that perfectly normal island. Nothing weird about that island. That island is perfectly normal. But that island, the top is not how originally I got there. It was this way. Same as before, the stone area is dug out, and the cobbled area was underwater. This is the first time ever I cleared an ocean monument, drained it, and refilled it. And I find it weirdly relaxing to watch the Guardians spawn and fall to their deaths. These stripes are signs to prevent the water from falling through. You can see they pass through the signs, and then the water pushes them towards the middle. And sometimes they swim around a little bit, but as soon as they relax, the water pushes them back towards the middle. I find that weirdly relaxing, watching them fall down like that. And then what's supposed to happen, I numbered all the signs. There's literal thousands of signs. There are 3,081 signs here, apparently. Now, what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to fall, and the fall damage was supposed to kill them. But it wasn't tall enough. So I put in another layer of signs. These aren't numbered. To stop the water. And then just a single layer of lava, again, above signs. And that would set them on fire as they fell. Since I built this, and I couldn't tell you what expansion it was, But since I built this, it changed how guardians react to lava. They actually do try to swim in the lava. Which means that they don't fall through very often. They still do sometimes. By the way, if I weren't on creative, all these guys would be shooting me with lasers. I don't think I put a dog there. I wonder who put that there. But before the way the lava changed like that, this would be full of guardians dying because they were on fire. Looks like people have taken a lot of the crystals to make sea lanterns, but there's still plenty of shards. The time I built this, building things out of, building the prismarine blocks was new, so I put the recipes up on the board. Oh, we didn't have recipes at the time. I don't know if you can remember back when you couldn't just use this recipe book and do that, and the recipe would fill in. You used to actually have to fill this in yourself. So yeah, regular prismarine bricks, dark prismarine, same thing with an ink sac. That was one of the shames about the having to put the lava there, is that I stopped getting ink sacs, and then the sea lanterns. And cook some fish, fine. You want to throw fish away, fine. That's what's supposed to happen, but it's supposed to be happening all along there. How I did this, might not have been the best way. I don't know. But is the original, I used sand to box in the ocean temple, and that's this sand. And the reason I use sand is because I could, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think this layer of cobble was a big square all the way around. And then I could just walk around, place the sand on the side of the square, and it would fall down to the ocean floor, and I could do it without swimming. But once I did that, then I built this jacket, I guess, of cobble all the way around, and put sea lanterns in it, or maybe it's glowstone, whatever, so I could watch the guardians fall down like that. This, if you saw it from above, concentric circles, because obviously that's the normal way that islands grow. Oh yeah, I set up signs. Most of them are in the Nether. But I did set up a tutorial to get that achievement for having for visiting all the biomes. And now I'm curious if my achievements are still in here. No, it looks like they've reset at some point. Not a big deal. Perfectly normal. Everything about this is perfectly normal, including the teleport. So is this going to work now? Did it break again somehow? Oh, nope, now it's changing colors. case you want to build one of these for yourself. Earlier in this video, that's the first time I've ever seen it broken. So now I'll go back up top. Still changing color. Still changing color. Still changing color. Okay, well now it's working. Alright, so that is a tour of, well, of the 1. I call it the 1.15 world or the 2.0 world because it's the second world that this group of people have played on together. First one was a 1.6 world, and I believe that's pretty much lost now. And so now, well, I mean, after I edit this video, which I guess there's not much to edit, but after I edit this video, I can go back to gathering quartz for building the Parthenon. Until then, have fun, Internet. I'm still Handsome Dan, and we'll see you next time.